Coach, coming off that game against North Carolina Central, did you see some fight in your players and that ability to down 28-3 to reel off 21 straight points against such a strong team, and what kind of positives can you take from that going into next week?
Well, I think when you watch that game, you get a chance to see the competitive nature of our football team, just how much we've grown from game one till the ninth game of the season. And you can see that one thing you can hang your hat on is that they go come and they go compete at a high level. And then when you look at it, you say you're going against top-ranked team in HBCU, top 10 team in FCS, and they're not able to put you away. And I think you can see how we closed the gap from a year ago. We played them a year ago. Game was not even close. But you can see how 1 year of all season together has really transformed this team. You don't see it in the wins, but the wins will come. But you have to first go from becoming a team. That team has to learn how to be competitive, and then that team has to learn how to win. And that recipe, you can't skip steps. And we're learning some valuable lessons. We played that game, and we got down 28-3. And our sideline was as calm and cool as it has been on this journey. And I applaud those guys for that effort, but I applaud them for the communication of positivity. And we've been trying to get that to them since we started this season, because we've been in some difficult games. We've been in a lot of adversity, but to see how they stayed together against a really good football team and how we erased that deficit just as quick as we got in that deficit is a testament to the character, the charisma, and the collectiveness of this group of guys. And I think when you look at that, you can say, yeah, our record is not where it want to be, but we're on the right track. And I really think the breakthrough is coming. Whether we get it this year or not, I don't know, but you can sense it. You can sense the specialness of this group of guys, because it's hard to go out there every week and compete against that team when you just saw what they did on a Thursday night against a South Carolina State team where they put 60 up on them. And then you're able to come out being down 28-3, and guys just fight and claw their way back into a football game. And couple questionable calls, who's not to say we don't upset them? But I really think the way we played, the attitude we displayed, we took a major growth as a program.
And Coach, you mentioned those questionable calls in the fourth quarter. It was the same shot, got down to the 2-yard line. Pass interference was called. Flag was picked up, and then you voiced your opinion about the flag. You walked on the field and you called for an unsportsmanlike call. Just give me your thoughts on that play, and then your thoughts on the rest of the whole game.
Well, the biggest thing is, I think, refs make mistakes. When you call a pass interference penalty and then you pick the flag up, I had to ask myself, if I was a referee, how do I expect that coach to respond? A game of that magnitude. And I think at that time the score might have been 35-24. You just get a touchdown there in the 2-point conversion. It's 32-35. Now the whole pressure and magnitude of the game shifts. And now you got 9 minutes to go in the game where you have been playing really, really well. And to not get that call and to watch it go the other way and you wave the flag off, I apologize to my team, because I think controlling your emotions is something that you have to do a great job of. And I didn't really lose it, but I wanted to be heard, because I feel like over the course of 3 games that, it's been some questionable calls. And I disputed it, got the 15-yard penalty, and the rest is history. But these refs, they make mistakes, and we wanted that call. And I wanted to fight for my team to try to let them know that I felt like it was pass interference. And that's the biggest thing, is just that we all got to control our emotions in the midst of those environments. And it cost us. We weren't able to get a field goal right there. Even the field goal makes it a 1-possession game. Get a stop, you got a chance to get a touchdown and maybe a 2-point conversion and send it to overtime. But that was an emotional game, and that was an emotional play. And I just commend our players for not allowing that to affect them and just continuing to just press forward. And I really think that's what we've been doing throughout this whole battle is pressing forward. And I'm just looking forward to the next opportunity.
I know Otto went down early. Just
Yes.
how is he doing? What's his status for this coming week?
Questionable. And probably once we get, he went to the doctor yesterday. Once we get a report back, don't know if we'll have him shoulder injury. And the biggest thing is that he was sick before we started. You know, he didn't even come out for warm-ups. And he found it. I mean, he was like, Coach, I'm going to try to go. I said, okay. He came out 3 for 3, get hit. Now he's out. Okay, then Deuce come in. So Deuce is playing. Had some trouble with executing. Sapp's not even on the sideline. The other two guys are redshirt freshmen and freshmen. Next thing you know, Sapp's at urgent care. So he shows up from urgent care and said, Coach, I'm ready to go. All right, well, let's give Sapp a chance. And he goes out and plays lights out. So when you talk about next man up, I don't know no better way to say than what we went through in that short period of time, got down, battled back. And, you know, our top 2 quarterbacks were very, very sick going into that game. And to watch us play like that, you always can earn your trust of your teammates. I always say it's going to be some defining moments in your career where trust is going to be earned. And I really believe Otto and his display going out there earned the trust of his teammates, and Sapp, unbelievable game. The way he felt earned the trust of his teammates.
With the way Sapp played, obviously he hadn't had a lot of meaningful snaps so far this season. How much confidence does that give you in him, you know, if you do have to end up starting him this week?
Well, I think it gives him confidence in himself, that he was prepared for the opportunity. Did he do everything well? No, but he did a lot of things well. And I think when you prepare yourself for the opportunity, that means every day you've been coming to work, the extra time in the weight room, the extra time in the meeting room. You've been getting yourself ready for the time when someone calls your name. And I think that's why you're able to excel. You wasn't over here moping and complaining about not getting the opportunity, but it allowed you to prepare for the opportunity when it arrived. And I think he was pretty much prepared for it. And I'm happy for the success because you want that in your backup. You want that for anybody that's a backup so that when they do get that chance, they can have a defining moment in their career.
Can you take us through the timeline in a little more detail of when he got to the stadium, when you were aware that he was even available? I mean, he was in urgent care because he was sick as well, I'm assuming?
Yes, he wasn't available Friday. We traveled him. He was sick Friday. We had walked through Friday morning. He wasn't feeling well. You know, we get there. Next thing you know, I was like, man, Otto's not feeling well. Raymond Coles was not feeling well. I mean, whatever the bug was that was going through our team, you couldn't tell it because they never let it affect them. And that's a testament to our culture. It's just fighting through what you're going through and just trying to find a way on the other side. But we got there and we go to warm-ups and Otto was in there in the locker room. We don't even let him come out to warm-ups. We say, man, just try to get yourself together, try to get some fluids. Sapp is not even at the facility. I think his parents took him to urgent care and got him checked out, and you know he wasn't able to talk, and he came back and he was like, Coach, I'm good. At halftime, we about had to carry him out off the field, but that will. And we didn't win the game, but we won the hearts of each other. And I think that had to take place before winning was going to ever take place in this program. Is that this team had to have a defining moment. People asked me that early in the year. What's the defining moment in this year? Was it the win at Townsend? Was it the win at Hampton? I really think when you look down, can we be consistent and continue to move forward and taste winning so that this team can continue to grow together? If that happens, I really believe we're on the brink of something special.
Now, shout out to that urgent care.
Yeah.
Whatever they did with Sapp obviously worked really well. Were you just like, what the hell are you doing here? I mean, what were your emotions when he let you know he could go?
I didn't even see him. When I saw him, he was fully dressed. And I was like, I talked to Coach Pitt. I said, Pitt, what we going to do? He said, well, we going to get Sapp a shot. I said, he here? He's like, yeah, we going to give him a shot. He said he can go. I was like, all right, put him in. And when we put him in, I think the light bulb went off. You could see him light up. you could see him. You could see the talent. You could see the arm strength. You could see the mobility. And I really think it gave us an edge because he played with the leadership that you got to have at that position to put people on your back and say, just follow me. And all I could do was tell him how proud I was of him because I know it took a lot of him, and I know he wasn't at his best from a health standpoint. But for him to put it online for his brothers in his program, all we can do is respect that. And I thought both our quarterbacks put their bodies on the line for this program, and I have nothing but respect for them.
We were just talking about Jordan. That was Sapp's flu game there.
The players said, after the game, just, Sapp, man, and they came in the locker room after the game and said, much love for you, man, because he left it all on the field, just like a lot of them did. And we knew he was under the weather, but just proud of the way, really, both of those guys tried to go out and fight. Even Otto tried to get cleared and come back in the game. So it tells you that winning is important to these guys, and playing well is important. The competitive nature of this football team is important. We just need that defining moment with a W. And once they taste victory again, I don't really believe they want to ever go back to defeat. And we had to get through that defining moment of becoming a team before we could ever realize that it can be done.
Got matched up with Delaware State this week. Another team hasn't had a lot of luck this season. What have you seen from them on tapes?
They're getting better. I think when you look at from the start of the season to where they are now, they're playing the teams in the conference very close. I think the only lopsided win was against South Carolina State. They went up and down with the quarterback position. I think they got a redshirt freshman that's probably going to play against us. They played a couple guys at that position. One guy starting, and I think he got injured, or they took him out, played another guy for a couple of games, then put the other guy back in. So, Coach Hull's going to do a great job. He's a great offensive-minded guy, and he's going to get that program going in the right direction. He's been successful wherever he's been, and Saturday is going to be one of those games. I think both teams are believing that this is a game they can win, and whichever team can go out there and execute at a high rate is going to have an opportunity to win this football game. It wouldn't be shocking if it come down to the last 2 minutes, and I think you got to be prepared to win those football games, because if you look at our conference on any given Saturday, I'm quite sure nobody thought we'll be with 9 minutes to go in the game with a chance to beat North Carolina Central. But records don't really define how good of a football team is. We lost a lot of close games, but we played exceptional football at times. It's just being consistent for those 60 minutes. And if we can just go up to Delaware State and just play consistent football, I like our chances.
If Coons is out, it's Sapp, no question.
Yes, Sapp will be the next guy up. Yeah.
And then a non-football thing for you, if you want to address it. Today is voting day.
Yes.
Do you speak to your players about that? Do you hear conversations amongst them about that? Is it something that matters at all in the locker room? This
morning, the players in this program have been calling. They've been calling around. It's a little program. Miss Ruffin has done a great job of getting us really our civil engagement going for this National Voting Day. And our players are participating in it. All our athletes are participating. Some are at the polls, some are at the voting precinct, some are here making phone calls. So our players are here calling and encouraging people to vote today on National Voting Day. So it's just great to see that we're taking time out of our day, taking time out of our lifestyles to recognize how important voting is. And I'm going to leave from here, and I'm going to Locksburg Middle School to vote as well. So I just think it's something that we all have to educate each other on, because we're the people, and this is our way of saying who's going to represent us. And I believe that's very important. And I'm grateful that our institution give us the day off. A lot of schools are off. My daughter's been out of school, and we talked to her about the importance of it. She actually attends Locksburg Middle School, and I just think that has to be passed on. And I'm grateful that we're allowing our players to participate and gain that valuable knowledge as it relates to voting and why it's important to vote.
Thank you.
Yep.